some marshmallows. That means you got 5 seconds before home ball with the hockey man. Cut your neck off. But you know what tripped me out? And white people don't get mad at me. They don't never let blacks or Mexicans be in the movies because, you know, we'll kill them. In the movie, check it out. Here's how it goes.
That's weird.
Emily, you hear something? You don't hear anything. You need to chill. Notice I said Emily and not LaShawn. Because all LaShawn had to hear was, something ain't right. If Jason gonna catch me, he better be in a vet. Only thing I'm getting tonight is a speeding ticket. You can believe that, you know what I mean? Then there was another movie, horror movies, Fear. Horror movie was called Freddy Krueger. Freddy was cool. That dude, he was cool. He would kill you, but he would party. You know, Freddy's an asshole. Freddy was doing a soldier boy up there. You know what I mean? Freddy was party, man, and he could be anything. He could be a pipe, a piece of toast, a waffle. They go my head, go See, in that movie now, if I was in that movie, you had to have a good imagination. See, the devil, you know, Freddy couldn't get me because I got a good imagination. I would get 2 bitter black guys. Or 2 bitter unemployed black guys. And it wouldn't be but 5 seconds before they start dogging. You know, he'd be like, hey, Freddy, look, hold on. Stay focused, man, hold on. He come. What's up, man? What's up with you? I asked you first. I'm here to take 2 brothers, for one long ride. Better be the Soul Train. You better get out of my face with that fake Michael Jackson glove with the butter knife sticking out of it. Horror, man. Fear holds us back. Fear holds us back. Let me tell y'all, before I get started in what I'm talking about, all of you here are not here by luck. You didn't just come out, breathe, push, you know. And you just hear like, what am I supposed to do? No. You're here for a purpose, and God wants to use you to do some great things. Now, the devil wants you to keep it silent. He wants to keep you hush, hush. Because there's potential in all of you. You girls, man, you girls are beautiful. You know what I mean? Tell me something I don't know. Girls are good. You know what I mean? Don't fall for like, God doesn't want you to marry some guy that, he loved me. I can change him. You looking like Rocky. That's not your destiny. He has a man for you that's gonna love you, that's gonna honor you, and you're more than just your hips and your thighs. You're more than that. You guys, I'll tell you this. You guys, man, you're here for a purpose, man. And I know it's hard because as guys, you know, sometimes we gotta act like we hard. You know, girls are hurting, they'll start crying like, homie, tell me you love me. Guys, we do the same thing, but we wait till we get home and play PlayStation like, I'm all right, I'm cool, whatever. Where's Sonny? Then when we get home playing PlayStation, throw the ball, boy. You know what I mean? You have destiny, guys. God wants to use you guys to do some great things. And I hope that my life story will inspire you, that you don't have to be tall like Yao Ming. You don't have to be able to sing like Beyonce. God uses ordinary people like me and you to do extraordinary things. Let me get into my story. For you all that knew me last year, there's a lot of you that don't know me because I was talking to a group from Dilly, right? 7 people.
Only like 5 people. Population is like 100, that's it.
Y'all got this from Walmart. Y'all brought the wrong brother down here. But let me tell you, for you all that don't know me, let me tell you a little bit about, you know, who I am. And I'm like I said, I'm glad to be here, man. And it's a trip because last year I was like a big black dot on a white dog. It was nothing but Hispanics and one black dude. As I look around, I didn't see Justin Timberlake. He done came out. I see some brothers, some mini afros, Usher, okay? This is cool. Now all y'all need is some Asians. We give you a good dick. That's all you need. And we'll work it out. Let's unify. But I grew up in Houston, Texas, the only place you can find 10 brothers and a white dude that can't play football in Texas. You know what I'm talking about? And if you get there early, they might ask you to play. But I grew up with a dream. But let me tell you something. Whatever you want to do in life, there's going to be obstacles. I don't care who you are, there are going to be obstacles. In high school, when you play a sport, everybody want to play on the varsity. Because if you play on the freshman team, the only people going to come to the game is your mom and your dad. If you play on the JV team, your aunt and grandmother might come. But if you play on the varsity, especially the guys, because we get the leather jackets, we show up in front of the girls like, who your daddy? You know what I'm talking about? But because I was short in high school, they called me the Minute Man. So I was like, Coach, put me in the game. He was like, in a minute, man, in a minute. You know what I mean? So I told all my homeboys, if you black, homeboys. If you Hispanic, those. If you white, dudes. So I told all my boys. I said, man, listen, in the third quarter, I want y'all to stand up and say, put me in the game. So I'm sitting on the bench. Third quarter came, all my boys stood up and said, put Melvin in the game. I said, Coach, you here? He said, yeah, why don't you go sit with him? I'm trying to win. I mean, it was hard, you know what I mean? I remember going to the park, and if you ever played park basketball, the two best players picked the team. So it was about 9 people. So this dude picked one, he picked one, he picked one. It was 2 people left, me and a blind girl. So they got together in the huddle. So I'm like, what the huddle about? You know what I mean? Even if I can't play, I can see, you know what I mean? But they picked this blind girl, but she had the best no-look pass I've ever seen in my life. You know what I'm saying? So not only did I grow up with people telling me I was too short, I grew up in poverty. I grew up in the hood. If you're black, it's the hood. If you're Hispanic, it's the barrio. If you're white, suburbs. My mama worked 3 jobs, made $12,000 a year. We were so poor, we couldn't even afford the OR. We was poor. Some of y'all will get that later. You black people. But I'm going to tell you how poor we were. Most guys know the cologne called Obsession. We couldn't afford it. We had to buy repossession. You know what I'm talking about? Polo shirts like a guy on a horse. We had to buy like a drunk dude on a mule. Chill, man. Tommy Hilfiger. We had to buy Tommy Hernandez because Ricky Martin was living the Bebop Broker. You know what I'm saying? We were so broke, if you tried to rob us, you'd be practicing. So I grew up with people telling me I was short. I grew up in poverty. Let me tell you about my mama. My mama was real abusive, man. And I hated going to church. I'd wake up and go, Mom, I ain't going to church this morning. What time we leave? Okay, I'll be in the car. You ready? All right. And all y'all that's laughing, your mama hit you too. So, grew up short, grew up in poverty. My mother was abusive. Let me tell you about my daddy. Me and my daddy used to play hide and go seek. Exactly. And it had been about 2 hours. When I found my daddy, he was on the couch sleeping with a beer in his hand. So I woke him up. I was like, come on, Dad. If you're going to play, play right. He said, listen, you count to 10, and then you come look for me. So I counted to 10. I went looking for him. Been 27 years, I still ain't found that brother. That's the best hide-and-go-seek player I've ever played against. My daddy and Osama bin Laden were probably the 2 best hide-and-go-seek players I've ever known. So I grew up short, poverty, mother was abusive, father was around. I even had a hard time in relationships. I remember dating this girl in high school with a lazy eye. And every time I look at her, I'd be like, but that didn't even last long because I found out she was seeing somebody on the side. You know what I'm talking about? Obstacles in my life, man. It was hard. But you know what? I didn't let that discourage me or get me down. Because that's what kills me, make me stronger, Kanye West. But anyway, I began to shoot about 3,000 jump shots every day. Man, ran 3 miles every day. I used to drive my mother's car on I-45 at 4 o'clock in the morning. I would open up the door, dribble the ball while I was going 5 miles an hour until I could do it going 10. Had the opportunity to play with the San Antonio Spurs. My first game with the San Antonio Spurs, we played the Chicago Bulls in the United Center. Everybody knew Michael Jordan was back. He smelled like Ben Gay mothballs, but he was back. You know what I'm saying? Now, I was the shortest guy on every team I played for. But I was also the cutest. Touch my back. You know what I mean? Sitting on the bench, San Antonio Spurs. Michael Jordan is dribbling the ball, got his tongue out, you know. He threw a look-away pass. I'm like, where is this brother throwing the ball? All of a sudden, this long-nosed, light-skinned black dude, Scottie Pippen, right? He comes out of nowhere.